All right, everybody, Coach Ken here. Thought I'd join in the fun this week and include a post about a muscular field test. Now, the assessment I'd like to explain for you is the standing counter movement vertical jump assessment. The materials needed for this assessment are a Vertec machine. Now, if you don't know what a Vertec machine is, that's a standalone device with color-coded flags that measure vertical jump height in half-inch increments. If you don't have access to a Vertec machine, you can perform this assessment using a wall and chalk. However, I'm going to explain it assuming that someone has access to a Vertec machine. You also need to make sure you have enough space to perform this jump. So if you're indoors, you have to make sure that the ceiling height isn't too low. You want to make sure you're wearing athletic wear, whatever's comfortable for you to perform the counter movement jump in. Now, I'm assuming that you've taken your client through an appropriate warm-up. For anything explosive like a vertical jump, I would prefer like a dynamic warm-up or a ballistic warm-up that's going to sort of mimic some jumping motion patterns, and just to get my client into the mindset that we're going to perform jumps on this particular day. Now, after you're done with the warm-up, you want to make sure you measure your client's standing reach. Now, in order to do that, lower the flags on the Vertec machine to where your client can stand flat-footed on their strong side, meaning if they're jumping with their left hand, or if they're reaching with their left hand, they want to make sure that the left hand is the closest to the flag, reaching up in a straight line without coming up onto their tiptoes, so where they can touch the bottom flag. Once doing so, you will record that height in inches to where they touch the bottom flag. You'll need that for later. You want to make sure your client's standing straight up. They want to go down in a triple flexion, so they're flexing at the ankles, knees, and hips. And then in one fluid motion and explosively as possible, they're going to reach up and touch the highest flag that they can touch. As you're coaching your client through this, you want to make sure you're trying to eliminate any excessive pronation or eversion of the ankles. You want to make sure we're eliminating any excessive valgus of the knees as well. We want to make sure we're coaching our clients to land in a safe manner. So there are a couple of ways to score this assessment. You can designate a certain amount of jumps for your client, let's say maybe 3 jumps, and you can take the highest of the 3. Or what I like to do personally is to have my client continue to jump until they miss the flags 2 consecutive times. Once that's done, you will take the highest jump that your client has made or performed, and then you subtract the standing reach, and that will give you your vertical jump in inches. From there, you want to compare that to the normative values that are separated by age groups and gender, and that will let you know how your client fared, whether it's good, average, excellent, poor, etc., etc. Strengths of this assessment. So the vertical jump assessment is a great measurement of lower body power, and jumping is a critical component of many athletic activities. Weaknesses of this assessment. The Vertec machine is an expensive piece of equipment if you don't have one. Another weakness is some clients aren't able to perform explosive jumps because they have problems of the lower extremity or some sort of lower leg dysfunction, whether it be at the ankle or the knee. Jumping and landing, some of these explosive movement patterns are contraindicated for some people that are diagnosed with lower leg dysfunction. And depending on the number of people that you have to assess, the vertical jump assessment might take a considerable amount of time, especially if you're giving your client multiple attempts at the Vertec machine. And that's about it. So hopefully you learned something. I look forward to seeing what we come up with this week, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.
There we go. Keep going, KJ. That red one's red.